What's up, Cinemaniacs? I just watched Avengers Age of Ultron last night, slept on it, processed my thoughts, and now I'm going to give you the review. This movie starts off right away with a bang. That shot that you see in the trailer of them jumping all as a team in sync, that is the beginning of the movie. This movie is so action-packed. It is so much fun, just like you would expect out of a Marvel movie. And you are given that to a T. The things that you started to see in the first Avengers movie, you are getting to see a little bit more of now. There was a longer action sequence at the end of the first movie, but this one had more action overall. But the one thing that you're getting to see in this movie, the battle back and forth between Tony Stark, even Bruce Banner, and the rest of the team, using your mind to be able to create something so that you guys don't have to fight anymore, so that there is an end-all resolution. And they played off that quite a bit in this movie, and they did it very well. You really felt like there was moments where it was really tense, and how some of these characters are so stubborn. They really want it their way, and they feel that that way is the best way, and they both have perfectly good reasons for it. So you're not really sure who to side with. But I'm going to go back to how you got a ton of action in this movie. You get a ton right at the beginning, you get some in the middle, and a lot at the end. And I think because of the segmented action scenes, you were almost out of your seat with enthusiasm and joy when the action was hitting. That first opening scene, I literally got goosebumps. Instead of sitting back in my seat, I was leaning up and moving forward with the action in the movie. Some of the shots could have been a little bit better. They did a lot of quick shooting, like where they would take a quick clip and go to something else. You could tell a little bit more CG, which is something that I loved about the first movie. Is yes, you knew it was CG, but you couldn't really tell that much. In my opinion, it could be totally off. It looked like Thor a couple of times was a CG effect and not practical. Now, I could be totally wrong, but that's just how it looked in 3D with the glasses on. When I go see it again soon with my son, I point back there because there's a movie theater over there about 10 minutes from here. But when I see this in 2D, I might have a totally different perspective. But because the action was so intense, you were having so much fun with the action, when they actually slowed the movie down and got into more dialogue and stuff like that, it felt a lot slower in this movie. Whereas the other one, it kind of, the dialogue and everything built up the tension, and you had this climactic fight at the end. This one had a harder time with that. There was moments of tension in the movie, but it wasn't as fluid in this movie as it was in the last. And it's tough when you come off a movie like Avengers, one of the best comic book movies of its time, one of the best of its ilk. Some people, it's their number one. For me, it's my fourth favorite comic book movie of all time, but that's still really high. We have a lot of great comic book movies to choose from, and when you're coming off a movie like that, it's tough to live up to those standards. And I feel like sometimes people judge these movies too harshly because of their extreme expectations. This is an Avengers movie. This is the Avengers. You are getting everything. You are getting the humor, the quick wit. You are getting the action. You are getting the fighting. You are getting everything out of a Marvel movie that you want in this movie. And that, for me, is where I'm going to go into one of the negatives. And the negative is, of course, the villain. It didn't live up to my expectations of Ultron. I could see how some people could appreciate this. I could see how their take on it, I understood where they were going with it. I understand why he acted the way he did. That's not my Ultron. He was a good villain, but he was a Marvel villain, which means he wasn't as strong as he should have been. Now, this could be just because they want to set up Thanos as the actual ultimate baddie. But as of right now, I've been let down time after time. The only time I haven't really been let down with an evil villain is Loki, and that was the first Avengers movie, which is why that one was so great. And then you had an introduction to a couple of new characters. You had the Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver. They were in the movie as well. I'm not going to get into these spoilers. I don't want to ruin anything for you guys. I might do a little spoiler at the very end, but you got the introduction to Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Another character you got was the Vision, and the Vision, the way that they did this was amazing. Paul Bettany as the Vision was awesome. They did justice to Paul Bettany and the Vision. It was so well done. His costume was amazing. He's not in it a ton, so if you're going to only see him and that's it, you're not going to get him for an hour and a half of the movie. The way that they did it and the way that they made everything kind of come together towards the end. I really enjoyed Joss Whedon's take on the Vision. Also got more of Hawkeye. So if you are a fan of Hawkeye, you will like this movie because he is a very integral part of this movie. Another character you got introduced to in this movie was Ulysses Claw. That is one of Black Panther's enemies. You got an introduction to him, and I thought that Andy Serkis did an amazing job playing him. All the rest of the characters, you have Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye, all of them, all the characters that were in the original movie, their chemistry was still on point. This movie was a lot of fun. I had such a great time. The action scenes were almost like lift you out of your chair good. Was it as good as the first one? No, it was not as good as the first one. I don't know if it suffers from superhero fatigue or if it's mainly just due to the fact that the villain wasn't as strong as your Loki in the first Avengers movie. He has been by far the best villain in all of the Marvel movies, and it shows because people love him as the villain. You don't have people going out to buy Malekith toys. You don't have people going out to buy Ronan the Accuser toys. You have people going out to buy Loki because Loki is a good evil character. And it seems like you're going to get a good evil character out of Thanos as well. But as of right now, I have just been let down time after time with these characters. You're not going to go get people out there buying a Mandarin toy. You want to know why? Because the Mandarin sucked in that movie. I'm going to rate this movie right now. This movie for me, I think I'm rating it a little hard. I'm going to see it again soon. I might actually increase my rating after I watch it with my son. When I see his face beaming with excitement, it usually tends to give me more energy and enjoy things a little bit more. So right now, I'm going to give this movie a 7.5. The first Avengers movie, I would have given a 9. 7.5 is a very good score in my book. This is probably not going to make it into my top 10 for comic book movies of all time. It was a really fun film, well worth the money. You'll enjoy your time at the theater, and that is the most important part. There was some flaws with it. Like I said, the slow dialogue did really feel slow when it was going on, but it gave you a lot of good information. Some of the story in this movie didn't really make much sense. There's parts where they don't explain a lot and just kind of let the movie magic do its work, which is fine in a comic book movie because that's how they do it in the comics. So overall, this movie was a lot of fun. I definitely recommend seeing it. Is it the greatest cinematic movie of all time? No, but you are going to have a ton of fun because I sure did. I'm actually really excited to go see this again for a second time. I think there's going to be things that I'm going to pick up on that I didn't see in the first time through. I'm almost guaranteeing that I'll probably like it a little bit more the more I see this. But now I'm going to go into a little bit of a spoiler. The spoiler for me is going to have to deal with Ultron. This is spoiler. So if you have not seen the movie, do not go forward from here. If you have seen the movie, feel free to keep on going. I have given you my review, but do not go any further if you have not seen the movie, because I am going to give you a little bit of a spoiler. My spoiler is with the Ultron. Ultron really kind of made me angry in this movie because I understand that they were going with how Tony Stark, his personality got infused into Ultron, the way that he got made. And you could see that because he was very sarcastic and very sharp-witted and sharp-tongued. But he was almost too goofy for me. Like, there was times where you really felt like he was this evil, menacing villain. It would just flip, and he would say a couple of jokes that just kind of took you out of the moment. I didn't want that from him. I want occasional, very occasional, sharp-tongued moments. I understand where they were trying to go. I can appreciate where they were trying to go. It just missed the mark for me. And that is unfortunate because I love Ultron, and I felt like they created this master, powerful being. I did not see him as this unbeatable foe. And that's who Ultron sells himself as, and sells himself so well in the comics and in the cartoons, that you feel like he can take you down. The other part is I like to see the Vision take down Ultron because Ultron creates Vision. I want to see Vision come through and take Ultron down almost by himself. Everybody else is just done, and they cannot go any further because Ultron has wiped them out. And the Vision has to take care of business. That's what I wanted to see. You got that a little bit, not as much as I wanted. If you've seen the movie and you want to let me know what you thought about it, sound off in the comment section below. You can also hit me up on Facebook at facebook.com/thecinebros, Twitter @thecinebros, Instagram @thecinebros, yada, yada, yada @thecinebros, everywhere @thecinebros. And before I sign off, I just want to say, please, if you're on YouTube, just sign into YouTube, go down, subscribe to the channel. We really love those subscribers. And if you enjoyed this video, please share this with whoever you would like. Let me know what you guys thought of this video and Avengers Age of Ultron. But for now, I will see you guys later.